Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of T.E.A.R.S. Now today your host Andrew, aka Pottyboy, is going to be taking a look at Pit Fighter. This is a conversion of the Atari Coin-Op from 1990, and this version was developed by T.E.A.R.S software and published by Domark in 1991. The arcade game was notorious for the time of being the first ever computer game to use digitised graphics. This is like 2 years before Mortal Kombat came out, so it literally was one of the very first arcade games to use digitised graphics, and so it looks at the time, it looks pretty good. It looks horrible now, but anyway, as for the game itself, was a pretty simple one-on-one fighting game. Really, it's like you picked one of 3 characters, and basically the idea is that you enter into a tournament, and the idea is that you basically go around and defeat all the other players in order to progress to the next round. And now, of course, you get 3 fighters. There's Buzz, who's an ex-pro wrestler, Ty, who's a kickboxing champion, and Kato, who's a 3rd-degree black belt, but we don't know what's in. Probably something like it's either karate or kung fu. I don't know, but yeah, this is 3rd-degree black belt, but we don't know in what. But yeah, I always go for, whenever I play this game, I always like to go for Kato because his variety of his moves and stuff. Because I mean, but Buzz, he's not particularly. Buzz isn't particularly really that great, and Ty, well, he just kicks all the time because he's a kickboxer, so there's no variety in his moves really. Whereas listening to one, it's like you got a little bit of punching and some kicks as well. So it's a good little all-round fighter to use. Now, of course, onto the game itself. This is what the Amiga version looks like. The one thing that really struck me was the fact that they managed to keep the sprite scaling in from the arcade version, which is something that not even the programs of the Super Nintendo managed to do. I was actually inspired to do a review on this game after seeing the Super Nintendo version in action, thanks to Steve Benway and Mount 1976. And yeah, it looks shit. it looks absolutely diabolical. And for a game, and it surprised me really that the Super Nintendo version didn't have the sprite scaling, which is quite shocking because the Super Nintendo is well known for it with the Mode 7 chip, and I'm quite surprised they didn't bother it. But saying that, it was a pretty piss poor conversion anyway. So but here they actually managed to put a bit more effort into it, shall I say? At least it actually looks, at least tries to play like the arcade game. But how does it succeed? As a conversion, it's not bad actually. It's not bad. I've got to admit in terms of the graphics, the sprite scaling, it works pretty well. It runs at a pretty decent frame rate as well. I think it's just the fact that everything looks a little bit blocky and low resolution. That's my only real criticism of the graphics. It just looks just a tad blocky. But the sprite scaling, like I said, it runs at a decent frame rate, and the sprite scaling works pretty well. In terms of controls, take a little time to get used to, because obviously the arcade game had 3 buttons, whereas the Amiga version you only had 1. So it's kind of like it's one of those games where you had to press and hold down the fire button, and then basically pushing the joystick in several directions did certain actions. In which case you can press hold down the fire button and basically push the joystick in the direction of the other where direction you're facing, and your character will do a punch. Pressing up and fire on the joystick does a jump. If you push up and diagonally left or right on the joystick and press fire, you do a flying kick. And then of course there's several other moves you can do. There's throws and things like that. There's also several items that you can pick up and use around the arena from time to time. And it's just basically a fighting game really, where you get to explore around the arena. Now, of course, every couple of rounds you get what's known as a grudge match, whereby basically you have to play against yourself, and basically you've got to get and basically you got to be the first to get to 3 knockdowns, and which you can see I failed miserably at. I normally do pretty well at them because they're quite easy really, but for some reason when I recorded this video, recorded the footage, I didn't play that well. So, yeah, although saying I've got to admit though, beat-em-ups is not something I'm particularly fantastic at unless I put it on like the stupidly easiest level. And I'm not really one for putting off special moves and things. But overall, so what I think of Pit Fighter, that's a conversion. Yeah, it's pretty good. Graphics decent enough. The sound is quite good as well. Not too bad. Just controls are alright, I suppose. So as a conversion, as far as conversions go, it's a lot better than some other conversions I've played on the Amiga. I'll give it that. But yeah, as a conversion, yeah, it's alright. It's not that bad. I think the problem is that I never really liked the original game much to begin with. Yeah, like I said, I thought it was just a very. I just thought it was just an average game to begin with, which is a bit of a shame, really. But I suppose for the time, like I said, it looked really good. But it just, I think just nowadays it's dated horribly and it just doesn't play that well, really. Yeah. So anyway, Pit Fighter. As a conversion, yeah, it's alright. Actually, it's okay. It's just the original arcade game itself was pretty average. Nothing, I mean, the only thing special it did was the fact that it was the first game to use digitized graphics. So yeah. So I suppose for the time, it looked pretty good. But it's I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just a pretty average fighting game, really. It's nothing special about it. Yeah, it's. I think in general, though, yeah, I'm not saying it's a total disaster, but it's just the fact that since Pit Fighter, better beat-em-ups have come out, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and it's just average really nowadays. I'm going to give it 2 out of 5. Thank you very much for watching.
Things like this, things like that.
It's all good in the long run.